All right, y'all. Welcome to Street Church. Congregation, come on in. And for first time visitors, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, y'all. We're about to go in. Um, I seen um, that the Biden administration wants to weigh in. Really, what they're coming to do is regulate. There's been an issue with parents about the United States, the U.S. educational system, all across the United States, they are allowing books, right? Okay, let me straighten this up before I go all the way in. They are allowing books that are there to influence young, impressionable children about the lifestyles, the sensuality and sexuality of the LGBTQ transgender community, right? These books are probably authored by the LGBT community, people who are gay, right? Who believe in same sex relationships, a man on man, a woman on woman, a transgender on man, a transgender on woman, a transgender on transgender, and the like, right? They're writing these books, and we already know all across the United States, they're in public libraries, right? Inviting parents and their children to come out and watch drag queen story times, right? And this is grooming 101, right? This is grooming. This is influence. We already know with the Dylan Mulvaney situation, he influenced probably thousands of children, right, to entertain the thought of going to have gender affirmation surgery. We know this. His success on influencing young impressionable kids and probably young adults was so impactful that he started to receive endorsement deals for it. So we know the impact that he's having and had, has, and will continue to have, most likely. Um, I remember a threat that he made, which was basically saying what's going on right now. As they continue to strengthen the rights of the transgender, right? Because now they're working on a Bill of Rights that is supposed to be a transgender Bill of Rights, right? They're working on it right now with the Biden administration. There has been no other uh, administration that's been for the LGBT community's agenda, right? The transgenders agenda, right? The queer agenda too, right? Because see, a lot of people leave them out and they just throw them in and say LGBTQ. But I think it's the people who claim most strongly to be queer who's doing the most fighting to with this inclusion, diversity, equity thing. You understand what I'm saying? I think that they're the most adamant about inclusion because queer means you're into furries, you're into transgender, you're into anything that's queer. It's outside of the normal, right? That's what queer means. It's outside the normal, the norms of a society. This society is the society of America, right? This is the American society. So there's there's ideologies, there were plans made, there were foundations built, right? That's outside of the ideologies that's now being pushed through the Biden administration, through the LGBTQ community and the transgender community, right? It is outside of its foundational ideology, beliefs, the fundamentals, right? And even its constitution. They're trying to skirt around the Constitution as best they can, right? And what better way to do it through literacy, right? To make you literate of one thing and illiterate about other things. That's what they're doing. It's the absence of literacy about, what this country was founded on. They trying to erase that, get rid of that, make you illiterate of that, wipe that out, right? And they want to give you artificial intelligence, artificial body parts, right? Artificial and superficial laws on a local level, right? That's against the Constitution. Sometimes they even lying to you. Just outright lying to you, telling you this is law, this is the way it is. And really it's just bullying. It's they doing it by force. They taking it by force. They pressing it upon you by force, right? And this is another thing that they doing when it comes to these books. They're bringing these books in. They're having drag queens read the books and making it seem like it's something that's plausible, right? Trying to make it a norm, trying to make it okay. But it's grooming, it's pedophilia, it's sexually immoral, it's wicked, and it's evil. And this is Street Church, and I'm just going to lay it all out. And I said it, and I ain't finna take it back. And I'm going to post this video when I am done on my channel, Street Church Network. And I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to continue to say what I'm saying right now. And that these books are intended. Listen, this is the thing I have too. I don't care if adult homosexuals, right? I don't care if people were adults who were reading these books. What I care about is that they're trying to press it upon children as early as elementary, instead of the core learning curriculum that should be taught, right? The criteria is for us to be, to have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which is, like I said before in my other video, reading, spelling, math, English, and science. The 5. Those are the 5 core that should be taught in every school and nothing else. No more social studies, and like I said, things to do with economics, right? Like, macroeconomics and microeconomics and real estate and accounting and how to save money and, how to spend it better and medicine. People's, diabetes, high blood pressure, and then so. And then through medicine, they could teach sex education. Because then you could teach about, you can get diseases from this stuff if you have unprotected sex. See what I'm saying? Medicine that it really applies to people's health for these children at out, not elementary, junior high, and high school and up, to college. But these are the things that they should be. It should be mandatory that that's the only thing that you can educate somebody else's child. Right? Not politics, none of that. I wouldn't teach. If it was up to me, you couldn't learn about somebody else's politics or politics in general until you were in college. Politics, social studies, all the things that because then you have an adult mind. You have your own say so then. But from K through 12, you can't learn nothing but the 5 core about medicine. That's it. And how to better yourself economically, and socially. I would, however, teach social, but it wouldn't be like social studies like they've been teaching it. I would teach about the patterns of bad behaviors in low income areas and poverty and how not to do this stuff. I would also listen, if I was in higher risk cities like Chicago, I would have an anti-gang curriculum. Anti-crime, anti-gang curriculum. I would have that, not these books. Look at look what they have for the book. These are some of these books that okay. And let me say this too before I get off track. All right. The reason why I did this video is the Biden administration is now planning to come down and crack down on parents wanting to ban these books. Right? They're gonna create some department, right? Like the Department of Education. And they're gonna start coming down on these parents. This is the combat against Mom for Liberty. I did a video on it. Check it out. This is the combat against these organizations like Moms for Liberty, right? They're going to come up with a department whose sole focus is on increasing the power and rights of the transgender LGBT community while simultaneously cracking down on the rights of the parents when it comes to their children in schools, in the U.S. Educational system. And you know what that's going to do, right? This same department that they're going to create is going to be able to infiltrate into the homes of Americans, right? It's another way to police, regulate, enforce, and control. This is exactly what they're doing. And it's all under the guise of talking about we need to protect the rights of transgender and LGBTQ, right? So they want to make a bill. And that bill will be yet another collapse of the United States of America as far as what it was founded on, which was the Constitution. We know that all the rights, all the legal arguments for hundreds of years since America gained its independence was built on the Constitution. We know that, founded on the Constitution, derived from the Constitution, however you want to put it. But they want to eradicate that. They want to eradicate your Constitution. That's what they want to do. And they want to and it's all for power. It's all for power. It's all for the sake of them being in power and being in control. And this is why the Biden administration is fin to create this department specifically for that. It's like Homeland Security. To invade your privacy, they use 9/11. It's like the Clean Act bill. It's like the healthcare by Obama too. It's all to control. They want to control it, and they want to be able to capitalize off of it. You know what? It's crazy how the Democratic Party, right? Branches, you know what I'm saying? These branches, these splinters, always complain about capitalism, right? But they always want to capitalize off something. You see what I'm saying? They always want to capitalize off something. And this right here, this department will take more money from the taxpayer because they will create this department designed to take the taxpayer dollars to do it. And it will be your money that's paying for you to lose more of your rights under the guise of them being against these book bans, because these book bans somehow are taken away from the protection of transgenders. Right. Okay. Whatever. Look, here's some name of these books, right? Look at some of the name of these books. You have The Bluest Eye. All Boys Aren't Blue. Which was written, I forgot to put the author's name down, but I did a video on him. This book is Gay by Juno Dawson. They, She, He, Easy as ABC. And this book is supposed to be the most banned book that parents are desiring to be banned. It's called Flamer by Mike Carruthers, right? Now, these books have been said to have pornographic language in it. It's profane, right? These books are profane, and it's for children. We're just talking about it's profane for children. We're not talking about it's profane for adults. We're saying it's profane, and the parents are saying, I'm saying too, that because I've heard, these books being read, some of these books being read out by the parents at certain city halls, right? And they said that some of these books, they're being cut off, right? Because nobody wants to face the fact that's what's actually in these books, right? So these people are being cut off from saying, quoting things in this book and speaking out against these books. They're being shut down at their local city halls and things of this nature, right? But it's an attempt to force them into submission of wanting to have rights over their own kids. And like I said in this video, you had Biden come, not this video, I'm sorry, the last video I did, right? A video that I did, because you might not know it's the last video I did, but another video I did previously here, it was about the same thing. It was about Biden saying that your kids aren't your kids. They're our kids. They're all of our kids. And he tried to make it seem like, oh no, they're our kids for protection, and we love them as much as you do, so they're our kids too type of way. That's what he tried to mean by it. But that's not what he meant. You understand what I'm saying? He didn't mean that. He meant that I'm about to ensure that your kids won't be your kids anymore. That's what he meant. Because I'm going to create a department, an organization. I'm going to create a department here. I'm going to try to, ease a Bill of Rights in here that will make it, you will no longer have the rights over your kids. They will be our kids. That's what he meant. That's what he meant. He's working on it. The people that's pulling his strings, right? The people who are there supposed to be in his aides and staff and all that, we already know that's who running the country, right? But yeah, that's what he meant by that. They'll be his kids soon, right? And you know what you're going to get when you got Biden. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing about, I was about to say something else, but here's something I noticed. His son has got a kid that he won't claim, right? He won't claim his granddaughter by his son with the porn star, right? But or hooker, right? Or a former prostitute. I don't know if she's still doing it. Former porn star, former prostitute. I don't know who Hunter was messing around with. I don't even think Hunter know who he's messing around with. But he won't claim the granddaughter of his son, right, with a child out of wedlock. But he wants to claim your kids as his. But he won't claim his own granddaughter. But he wants to claim your kids as his, as theirs. Who is theirs? Who is he speaking for? He said, they're not just your kids, they're our kids. Who is they? Was that a pronoun you was just using? Or is they really they? Who is they? Who's desiring someone else's kids? Come on, this is street church. We're going to lay it all out here. We're not going to pretend. But listen, it's really not too much else to say. Oh, yeah, I do want to say this too. Hoboken Library in New Jersey, right? In their defiance of the parents, right? Defying, refusing, and rejecting to listen and heed the parents' qualms about these things, right? These books that they want banned. They don't want to listen to them. So what they do, they're going to have a banned bookathon. A banned bookathon is what they going to do. And it's supposed to start, when is that bookathon supposed to take place? Oh, I don't know. When is it supposed to take place? June 17th. Starts Saturday, June 17th at Hoboken Library in New Jersey. Or Hoboken Library or Hoboken Library, whichever one. It's Hoboken Library in New Jersey with this explicit, foul, sex toys infused, fetish infused books that the parents are trying to get banned from being read in libraries across America and in schools across America to their elementary, junior high, and high school kids. They're just trying to fight. They just trying to fight to get these books banned because they don't think that children should have access or hear or be taught or be read these books. Right? These queer, LGBT, gay, homosexual infused books. And sexually immoral. It ain't just about homosexuality. It's about sexual immoral too. Sexual immorality, right? Can be fornication. It can be two people of the opposite sex. If they out of wedlock, it's sexually immoral. If it's porn and you're watching it, it's sexually immoral. Right? The Bible teaches us that it's adultery. Jesus said it's adultery to even look at a woman with lust, to think upon her, to let your thoughts go, to think of her in a lustful way. That's adultery, right? The act of adultery is a married person, any one of the persons that's having sex together, if one of them is married, it's adultery, right? And the Lord says a lustful thought about a woman, and I'm quite sure it's man too, right? A lustful thought from a woman about a man, it's all adultery. It's adultery. Jesus said that's adultery. So whoever created these thoughts that they had that they put out on paper, they committed adultery. What they did was wicked. What they did was evil. And to now want to read it out loud in public settings to children is even more wicked. This is going to be a short one because it's really, what else can you say? This stuff is evil and we know that it's going on. The question is are you going to get with people like Moms for Liberty and other people who speak out or who are outraged about this? Are you going to stand there with them in the gap for your children and for their children? Because that's what needs to be done. This needs to be so momentous, right? This movement needs to be so large, right? Voices need to be heard so loudly that they turn away from this, that the U.S. educational system, that the Department of Education, that the Biden administration will turn away from this wickedness. Turn away from this wickedness immediately. And it's only going to, and it's not loud enough yet because they doubling down on it. And they trying to create, instead of them saying, oh no, we shouldn't do this to people's children, they trying to make a department for the sole purpose of coming down on people who don't want these books in these schools or taught in libraries or drag queen, showtime, or whatever they calling it. Whatever they doing is wicked. It's evil. So, this is Street Church. I'm going to let the congregation out. God bless.